All right, so today I want to talk to you some principles on how to make the law of attraction very simple on how to attract the right people in your life and keep away the riffraff. How can you attract and keep the right people unless you make it impossible for the wrong people? You and I both know people where you might be that person who constantly has the same certain individuals in your life, out of your life, in your life, out of your life. If you can't find a way to finally get rid of the wrong people, how you can meet the right people? Because the wrong person is always wasting your time. You and I both know people that are always in that same relationship. They're together, they're broken up, they're back together again. But again, that's why these people are in these relationships and these funks for years. You cannot attract and keep the right people until you make it impossible for the wrong people. Now, a lot of you are reading and watching a lot of stuff on the law of attraction and like, oh, this sounds really great, these principles. Listen, a lot of you going listening to coaching and YouTube channels from people that really don't know what the hell they're doing here. Just because that person actually was able to attract a relationship for themselves doesn't mean they're actually able to replicate that for other people in their life or clients. I've been doing this for years here. I'll make it so obvious in the right place here if you're really serious about this. So I want to make sure you have something practical today. So let me share my screen and let's go over a very practical way so we can start making this, at least slowly, step by step for you here. So here's the quote for the day. This is directly from Neville Goddard, by the way, the grandfather, if you will, of the law of attraction. Okay, we're right to the source here. So the universe responds not to what you want your reactions to be, but to what they actually are. What he's saying is people are actually responding to the real version of you, not the version of you want yourself to be, but the version of you actually are. Law of attraction principle, what you send, you're the energy to receive. But what are you sending? You can't fake it till you make it here. If you're sending negative energy out into the world, that's why you're receiving the same kind of stuff here, okay? You have to find a practical way to actually employ these techniques that you read about. So he says, continuing onwards here, this is why monitoring your reactions is one of the most important practices in conscious creation. As he says, consider this. A wealthy person doesn't react to money the same way a poor person does. A healthy person doesn't react to physical symptoms the way a sick person does. And you ready for it? And a person who knows that they are lovable and worthy does not react to a relationship challenge the same way a person who assumes they are unlovable does. Okay, so it's your reactions that reveal your state or what you're attracting or what you're not attracting, even more accurately here. So here's the question for you. How are you reacting to people? Are you overreacting to people? That's exactly why you're getting what you're getting here. You can read all the law of attraction books you want. If you're not actually to employ these in a very practical way, well, then you don't get a lot, okay? Listen, let me tell you how I employ this in my own life here. Again, I've been doing this for over 10 years here. I can prove what I claim here. But anyway, you can't speak how you don't feel. So in my life, I've attracted an incredible business, incredible clients, and I work with some of the best people in the world. And I love what I do, and I love what I get to do for people here. But that doesn't mean I don't get a challenging client along the way. That doesn't mean I don't get certain tests, right? That doesn't mean that, I live in the real world. I don't live in a forest or a monastery somewhere. I have my own challenges too. But challenges are always the opportunity to the next level if you succeed, if you're willing to embrace them for what they are. Again, that challenge next level. So tell me a story from the other day. Again, I've been teaching for over 10 years. I'm a coach, right? I could be Michael Jordan. I could be Serena Williams. Yeah, I could be a legal professor at Harvard. Every coach on planet Earth, every teacher, even the best, still gets students who can't stop their dog from eating their homework, okay? So I had this one client who came to me over 2 years ago with a whole, you know, slew of problems and challenges. And this guy was just a disaster. Now, I've taken people from like zero to hero in a pretty quick amount of time here. But again, not everyone wants to do the work. This guy was terrible. His dog always ate his homework, always excuses. I mean, at the end of the day, I teach a 30-minute emotional strengthening process. I'm co-creators of that person. And if that person doesn't want to do the work and always makes up excuses, I get to do this. So this individual just every couple of days, excuses, didn't do it, just absolutely terrible individual as far as his work ethic. Nice guy, but terrible work ethic. Anyway, long story short, he did pretty good considering, because I do happen to push and do quite a bit further than what people expect here, but he got nowhere to where he could have gone. Anyway, he only wanted doing part of the program for financial purposes, which is fine. So, I mean, I tend to, create a memorable experience for people. This guy came back to me recently. Now, the guy texted me and said, "Hey, Lance, I'd like you, get back on the bandwagon and get coached again." So I'm like, "Great, let's have a conversation now." To protect identities here, I'm going to call him Pablo. Okay, so Pablo we coordinated a Zoom call. First time, he wasn't able to make it the day of, no problem. So we kind of rescheduled a couple times. I'm super flexible with people that I've worked with before. So we finally get on a call. We speak for about maybe, I don't know, about 15 minutes on Zoom. And then his connection dies. Now, any normal person with manners, what are they going to do? If something happens, they get pulled over by the police, their phone dies, whatever. Any normal person is going to call, text as soon as they get home and say, oh my God, sorry it happened, blah, blah, blah. But this guy just disappeared. Now, of course, I'm starting to get a glimpse here. This is more the same guy that I knew a couple years ago that just not doesn't bring the right thing to the table here. So anyway, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I didn't hear from him that night. Next day, I still didn't hear from him until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, remember, I can speak how I feel, okay? Like I have incredible clients. I have tons of clients. I don't have to work with anybody, right? So anyway, when someone acts in that sort of way and has that little regard or consideration or level of manners, so that's a good way of putting it, I'm not going to accept that. And when someone does not have that kind of common courtesy, I'm going to call them out on that, but with love and respect. So I texted Pablo, "Hey Pablo, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Never heard back from you. You dropped off the call yesterday, so if I don't hear back from you, I'm going to have no choice but to assume you hung up on me. I don't know why you do that, being I thought we had a pretty good relationship, but please, hope to hear back from you." Anyway, he responded back to me and said, "Oh, Lance, sorry about that. My phone battery died, and today's been a really busy day at work." Okay, and successful guy, whatever, I guess in his own right, who knows? But anyway, that's what he said. Now, of course, that's a pretty lame excuse. But I just remember back to letter K. Okay, I got it. I figured give him again the benefit of the doubt. Give him a few days. Now, I don't let people waste my time. Again, law of attraction, being able to employ it, attracting, keeping the right people, you're not operating from a level of desperation. They say hope is a beggar. Like, I don't care who I work with. I got some great clients, so I don't have any problem pushing along the right people. Again, how can you attract and keep the right people unless you keep the wrong people away? I don't want bad clients. I don't want people who are a pain to work with. I don't want people that just can't stop their dog from eating the homework. I don't have the time. There's just one of me. So I do want to make sure I'm lining up working with the right people, and the right people are getting my time and energy, my bandwidth, my heart, and my soul. So 4 days later, still didn't hear from this individual. Clearly, he doesn't quite appreciate me, respect my time at the level that he should. So I wrote him a pretty long email and I said, "Hey Pablo, I'm writing this to you because we had work arrangements in the past here. And I'm writing a long text message now. This way, you don't waste my time later." Not writing back for 4 days shows an utter lack of disrespect. You clearly do not respect my time or appreciate it. So listen, if we're not ready to work together now, we're not going to work together in the future. You shouldn't have done that here. That was not okay. And now, if you are sincere, we had a nice conversation. You've worked with me in the past. Great, let's do that. But if not, I'm not willing to work with you again. To be honest with you, you were not a good client in the past. You were really difficult. You never did the work, and you're either going to do it the right way this time, or we're not going to do it at all. I already get a glimpse that you might be the same person we spoke to 2 years ago. So I really hope you're sincere and you're ready to do this here. Now, anyway, I got a response back from this one here. And again, I don't mind if he disappears. I don't want the wrong people in my life. How can I attract and keep the right clients unless I push away the wrong ones? See how this works for all aspects of your life? I'm okay to push away the wrong people so I can have plenty of time and bandwidth and energy to attract the right people. So he writes me back this lame response. "Oh, is my, blah, blah, some kind of nonsense thing. Is my, daughter's birthday, whatever." And I'm like, "Pablo, your daughter's birthday doesn't go 4 days long. Bye, blocked." And that's it. Listen, we're not here to be friends with everybody in this thing of life. Some people are here to push you, to challenge you, to be a catalyst, and some people are those people we are supposed to spend our lives with. They support us and nurture us, and we grow with and evolve with. But that's not everybody. Never forget, sometimes we don't get what we want, we get who we need, and we get certain challenging people here. My bottom line is to be able to execute in a way the way I'm speaking here with no fear and not be desperate and concerned. I'm like, "Oh my God, I need another client." That's not a concept. You either have that emotional confidence or you don't. If you want it, you got to build it. Do you have the right workout? You probably don't. So, anyway, a bottom line is I want to make sure things are practical here. How are you reacting to people in your life? If you right now are going through a really tough time in certain relationships and you can't stop yourself from getting on that emotional roller coaster, and you're saying, doing things you shouldn't say or do, I don't care how many law of attraction books you read. I don't care how many, YouTube channels you're subscribed to. If you don't have a practical process to actually employ this in real time, well, then guess what? Sorry to be the bearer of bad news here, but you have nothing. So Anyway, hope you learned a little something from here today. Again, doesn't matter what you know, it matters what we can do. Real emotional strength is not externally dependent, it is internally built. Would you like to build that with me? Would you like to learn a practical process to do so? Great, let's have a conversation. Just go to refocusonhappiness.com and let's have a conversation. Anyway, have a great day and we will talk soon. Bye bye. Ciao, ciao for now.